Today we're going to be extracting handles such as this honey locust hatchet handle from a greenwood split billet here, also honey locust. So in fact, what I get out of this, if it doesn't crack itself to bits as it dries, as honey locust often does, it should look very similar to this one. It's about 20 inches. I call this style of axe a 20-inch workhorse. I do a lot of hewing on the stump with this kind of thing, splitting barbecue wood. So this is one that I did previously from some of this same stuff that I just got from a local log dump. And you may notice it's quite a bit larger, oversized compared to the finished one. You can only rough it out down to a certain size. You have to allow for warpage and shrinkage as it dries. I'm going to give this a year or two, this batch of handles, if they don't crack. At least a year, preferably 2, before they're dry enough to hang a head on them. Because if the wood keeps shrinking, if it's not completely dry, then the head will come loose. You can see I have to start with a billet that's quite a bit oversized to get one handle out of this. If I got real greedy, I might be able to try to get 2, but that often results in getting 0 in my experience. So what I want to go for is the middle section, about the middle 1/3 of this honey locust, this light yellow sapwood portion. It's not as strong as this darker heartwood. It also is even more prone to drying cracks. So I want to eliminate all that. I may or may not be able to get a smaller blank from this inside portion here, but the meat of what I want to get is right here, about a 2-inch wide strip up the middle. I'm going to start by splitting that out, and back here on the shave horse is the entire complement of tools that will be used. The shave horse itself, hammer and a wedge, hatchet for some rough hewing, draw knife, and a little bit of Spokeshave for a tiny bit of refinement at the end. Without further ado, let's see how well we can split this out. I did select a log that is perfectly clear as far as I can tell. No knots, no squiggly grain, no evidence of bug activity, anything that's going to be in there to weaken the wood, be a deal breaker. Other species that can work for this that you may have access to in North America are, of course, hickory, which I never do seem to find much of that. Ash is great. Sugar maple, white oak, ironwood. What else, Katrina? What am I missing? Oh, pecan, yes, in the hickory family. Kentucky coffee tree is probably great. I haven't used it, but what I've seen of it seems like it would be a great wood for that, for this purpose. The split is running a little bit, which is expected. I don't mind that in this case. There we go. That is probably big enough to be a smaller hatchet handle. Here's what I want. I want to make sure that this piece gets split more or less right in half. And actually, I think, yeah, I can split a little bit off of this one too. One side or the other. You know what? No, I think we're going off this side. Less hatcheting. There we go. Now, this particular honey locust tree, the wood splits very nice and clean. Makes this a lot easier. I'm scoring across the top. before running that split all the way down. Go. Here's, yep, very nice. I don't really see anything that is undesirable in here. Sometimes you find hidden inclusions and that kind of thing. This looks great. One thing I am going to do first before I start hatcheting is go over to my miter saw and cut off an inch or two of each end, because I've got drying cracks coming in already. This was sitting at the log dump for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and so these drying cracks in the ends are probably at least an inch deep already. But this should still allow me to get about a 20-inch blank out of there. I'm gonna go cut those ends off before I start hatcheting. So here's my fresh split honey locust blank, trimmed on the ends and waxed. I dipped the ends in melted paraffin wax to provide a water barrier so the ends won't crack. I'm gonna do just a little bit of hewing to knock off some bulk. Now, because I have terrible tendonitis in both of my elbows, and hatchet work is one of the primary causes of that, and because with a well-tuned draw knife and a shave horse with a nice carving wood like this, I can actually work probably faster with more control. I'm now going to switch to the draw knife. To appreciate the kind of before and after of what will happen on the shave horse, here we've got roughed out to the point I'm going to get to today, and then I have this much bulk to remove. Initially, I'm just going to clean up my blank, basically make a 2x3, kind of square it up, make sure I get all the sapwood off, make sure there are no hidden cracks running in here anywhere, and also the draw knife is going to find the grain direction for me. Cuts very easy. I could do a little more with the draw knife if I slow down and watch my technique. This stock of wood is a bit prone to tearing, and to make sure that doesn't happen, I can switch to a Spokeshave. So I'll do that. I've set this Spokeshave to take a very aggressive shaving. Locust has a very stringy, fibrous quality to it. At least it often does, and this particular stock is true to that. There's no point, since I'm just roughing these out for now and trying to get real clean finish cuts or anything. I think I'm pretty close. Could take it down a little bit more. This would be all right. I can get a little bit more dimension off of this, and it'll dry a little bit faster. But if I leave any real bad splinters like this raised up, they're not dangerous now because the fibers are soft and flexible, but as they dry, those will be major splinter hazards. This will probably require either a rasp and scraper to finish it after it's dry, or abrasives. Just the way it's cutting, it's probably not going to take well to a blade. So I'll just tear out. Don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to write the date on it so that I know exactly when it was roughed out green, and can give myself the appropriate amount of time. Actually, that eye is a little on the thick side. I'm going to just take a few more passes with the draw knife. Take it down maybe another 1/4 inch. That should be fine. I believe it is the summer solstice today. So now that I have the date on these, they need to go somewhere to dry very as slow as possible, preferably a partially climate controlled basement. If the basement's too damp, they'll get moldy, and you definitely don't want them near a heat register, or a vent, or a window fan or anything like that where they get too much airflow. So the slower they can dry, the better. Knowing that Locust is especially prone to those drying cracks, I might even overnight for a few nights, just at nighttime, throw them in a plastic bag, wrap it up, and let some of the interior moisture wick to the surface, and then take that out in the morning and let them dry, air out in the throughout the day, just for a few days, maybe a week initially, and then I just gotta wait a year or two.